Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Paige, this is Seeking Alexandria, and guys, today I just made a last minute decision and we're going to dive into the new stuff from Morphe, and I'm really excited about it. So this entire collection is their Bronze Goals collection, and it was released with these mini highlights. It has some glosses, a bronzer, and a palette, and we're just going to dive in. We're going to touch all of it. I really don't want like a super intense look today. I want like a nice glowy, kind of natural, like beachy kind of vibe. That's what I'm feeling, I think, and I felt like this would be a really good option for that look. So I'm actually going to get started a little bit backwards and go in first with the highlights and do my face first, which I know is super random on my channel, but I don't know, it's just what I'm feeling today. So this right here is the little 4-pack of mini highlights that you get. This retails for $25 for all 4. So these right here are the 4 swatches. I'm actually really impressed with the overall pigmentation of these. Obviously I have not applied them to my face yet and blended them out, but upon the swatch, these actually show up very nicely. Now for my skin tone, it would probably be the 2 lighter shades over here, which are Optic and Strobe, but I actually think they all translate very, very nicely. And these are for face and body. You can put them all over. You can put them on just the high points of your face. You can put them wherever you want to be shimmery and glimmery. And that includes putting them in your foundation if you want to do more of an infused look. There's a ton of different options. So for me, the first thing I'm actually going to do is prime with my Tatcha Silk Canvas. And then for foundation, real quick, I'm also going to go ahead and apply my L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Freshwear. This is a great foundation. And I'm going to be taking a pump of 405 and a pump of 420, and then also going in with my Tarte Shape Tape in Porcelain Beige and taping out the face. That way we can apply the highlight. Okay, so when I had got the base on, and I think it's time now to add some highlight and pizzazzle my little face up. So I think I want to try the bronzy one first, which is the lighter shade Optic here, and then if that's not light enough, I'll probably try the shade Strobe. So let's go ahead here at first and grab Optic, and I'm just going to apply this to the tops of the cheekbones and try to blend it out. Oh yeah, that might be a little bit, a lot of it too dark for me, but let's just go ahead here, blend this out with my little finger. Okay, so it actually looks kind of pretty. It feels very oily on my skin. It's making me a little bit apprehensive. I'm going to take my Fenty sponge and just pat this out. This does feel a little bit on the oily side, which makes me fear for breaking up my foundation right there, but so far it's not. Okay, it kind of blended out a little bit farther than I thought it would. By the time I got all the edges gone, it's almost like it absorbed into my foundation or something. I'm going to take a little bit more and blend it out. Because see, here's the problem. I would like to just blend it in with my finger, but if I blend it in with just my finger, I end up with a little bit of a texture moment going on because it's too oily, so I have to go in and blend it out with a beauty sponge. But when you blend it out with the beauty sponge, it like dissipates a little bit more than I would like. It takes it from like a really nice intense highlight to just more of like a glowy cheek, which I guess isn't bad. I just feel like if you're going in with a liquid highlight, wouldn't you like it to be like super intense? I don't know, I feel like you can barely see a sheen on this. On the other side, I'm going to take the shade Strobe, which is the lighter, more pinky color, and see if that one applies any more intensely. So we're just going to take, oh boy, okay, so hello bubblegum fantasy, what is going on? Let's just blend that out with a different finger over here. Yeah, I'm not going to say that these are my favorite. I think that they're okay. The biggest problem that I keep having is that they're so oily that they seem to just be either absorbing into my skin or dissipating very quickly. Okay, here's just coat number 2, just like I did on the other side. I'm just going to pat it in because you guys can see, like when you are at this stage, it actually looks pretty nice. But by the time you get it all blended, it's just like, hello, hi, can't find it anymore. Okay, so upside, it's a really beautiful glow to the tops of the cheekbones. That I'm not mad at. Downside, it does dissipate a little bit more than I would like. I think it's a beautiful sheen. This is something I would probably do like no makeup day because I'm not sure how that's going to really hold up under the rest of my products, especially when I go in with powder and whatnot. And I do have liquid highlights like the Marc Jacobs liquid highlight or even the iconic London. Those are ones that when I put them down on the skin, even after I go over with powder, I can still see them poking through. And I worry if these ones are going to be strong enough to poke through powder and really give me like that vivacious feeling. So I don't know. I don't hate it. I think they give a nice shine, and I think it's time to powder this face because, girl, these under eyes are getting so creasy. Okay, so now that the entire face is set, we're gonna move on to bronzer. And as another piece to the puzzle of this amazing bronze collection, of course, they released a bronzer. They didn't just release one though, girl. They released 3 different shades. I have the shade Icon, and I was so excited about this bronzer in general. Like 3 shades, they're $19, which is a little bit more pricey, but they're also a giant pan. Like, look at the size of this pan versus, like, this is just my Thrive Cosmetics. This is another favorite of mine, but like, look at the size. I mean, oh my word. Like, this has 0.32 ounces of product. What does my Ulta one have here? Also 0.32. The one from Morphe has 0.7. So this one has more than double the amount of both of those, and I'm so excited to dive in and see how she looks on my skin, girl. Now, I'm going to be applying this with my IT Cosmetics brush. This is just a duo fiber. This is one of my favorite ways to apply bronzer, and you know what? I'll actually go ahead and link up here my favorite face brushes video for you guys. I go through all of them. I don't know if you can find this one, but a bunch of other favorites that I have for bronzer are in that video as well. So anyways, let's go ahead and get to bronze in here and see how she looks. I actually really like that this palette comes with a mirror too. Now this I think might be a little bit too warm for me. I feel like it's making me look a little bit muddy. Bronze down the neck just a little bit here, so that way we at least kind of match. Yeah, I definitely feel like this bronzer is a little bit too warm for me. Oh wow. Which is so interesting because when I swatched it, it didn't come off super, super warm. I mean, it has a warm undertone, but it didn't come off that warm. Like, I'm not sure if you guys can see it, but I feel like it's kind of given me a little bit of mud up in the hairline region. And I don't think it's a problem with the actual bronzer itself. Like, as far as application, it went on nicely. I just feel like it is way too warm for me, especially through here. It's almost making me look a little bit like peaked or a little bit eggshelly. I don't know. I'm not loving the tone of that. I don't know if you'll be able to tell on camera, but I actually went ahead. So the swatch in the center here is the Morphe one that I just put on. And then below that is the Ulta bronzer in Warm, which I have been loving. And on top of that is the one from Thrive Cosmetics in Ray. So these two I've been obsessing over, and you can just see that they're slightly less warm than the one in the center from Morphe. It just has more of like a yellowy warm undertone, which is definitely not something that looks the best on me. So I'm gonna go ahead here real quick and I'm going to actually grab this Nars palette, which I've been using as a mirror quite a bit lately. So this is their Exposed Cheek palette. I actually introduced this to you guys in a full face of high-end makeup, which I will link up here, and we're just gonna use this, and I think I'm probably just gonna go in with these 2 shades right here and hit the cheekbones a little bit as soon as I can find that brush, girl, because this vanity is a mess. Let's give ourselves a little something something to these cheekies. Shh, I'm very busy. Alright, so now it's time to move on to the star of the show. This is $25 and we have the Bronze Goals palette. Whoops, okay. That was the sheet going on the floor with all the names on it because your girl don't care. I love a bronzy eye. I love this palette because I feel like you can go super light, super neutral, you can go cool, you can go warm. And like, my God, there's shimmer shades for days in here, lots of different undertones. I'm so excited. Oh my good Lord. Okay, this is $25. How much product is in each one of these here? Man, I gotta do math and shit. Come on now. Guys, I'm actually super impressed. Each one of these has 0.056 ounces a piece. And for those of you that are relatively new here or have just not heard me talk about it, I look for 0.05 ounces a piece as a minimum amount of product per pan. I feel like that's a really good fair pan size for eyeshadows, and these exceed it. So I'm excited about that. So for today, I want something a little less, a little lighter, a lot lighter. I'm feeling like a really bronzy, like calm moment, but like I want a little bit of depth in the inner and the outer V, I think. I think that's, or no, yeah, I think that's what I want. First things first, girl, y'all know I want some Tarte Shape Tape in Porcelain Beige. I'm going to use this as a base, and I'm probably going to leave it tacky. I have heard such mixed reviews on this entire collection. I'm so excited to finally be testing it. I had a totally different video planned for today. I was like, girl, I got to do this video today because everybody wants to know the tea, including me, like, let's be real. Plus, because there's been so many mixed reviews, I'm like, oh my gosh. So first things first here, I'm going to grab a number 6 brush from the BH Cosmetics Rose Quartz collection. I will link this collection down below. It is one of my absolute favorites. And I think just to get things started, I'm actually going to dive in with this shade right here. It's a decent warm tone, but it's not too warm, I don't think. I don't know. We're going to find out. And I'm going to start working this through the crease. So given that I have a tacky base, I feel like I am having to build this up quite a bit. Alright, took me a second, but we got her there. I think we're good to go now and move on to the next shade. Now, I did make that one a little bit deeper than I originally wanted to, but in my defense, guys, it's because I fell in love with another shade. I am dying to play around with this guy right here. It looks so rich and so beautiful. I'm just going to take it here on the same brush, and I'm actually going to work this right into this outer V a little bit. And I'm just going to press and pack just to see if we can deposit a little bit of color, which, ooh, yes, that's very pretty. And then I am going to very, very lightly blend that into the crease. And I'm just doing this very lightly on the outside, and then I'm going to repeat this process again on the inside of the eye. So I will say, I don't know that these shadows are blending as well on a tacky base as I would like. I think that you'll have better luck with them if you do set your base. I feel like they're kind of grabbing and clinging and pulling a little bit more than I'm used to, especially as of late, because I've been going in a lot lately with an unset base. And I just feel like these are really pulling and tugging a lot more than what I'm used to. Like typically when you first go in and you have a wet base, you do have to kind of press the shadow in, make sure that it's set down, and then you can kind of work it out, blend out the edges a little bit. But with these, I'm finding that I have to continue to press and press, and you guys have probably seen that because it's just not set for some reason. Like it just continues to pull my eyelid and like tug a little bit, if that makes sense. It feels like it's manipulating and pulling the base. I don't know. It's a little bit frustrating. Real quick though, before I get into shimmers, I do want to take this lighter brown tone shade way, way, way up here. And I'm going to take that here. This is a Morphe M507. And I'm just going to take and run that shade up here on the upper portion of the brow bone just to help diffuse that upper brown shade a little bit. I feel like I'm having a super difficult time getting this line right here to blend away, and it's starting to make me violent. Okay, I'm going to take the lighter brown shade. We originally worked through the crease here on a Morphe Y16, and I'm going to blend that over top of that line. Hopefully that'll diffuse it a little bit. And it's time to pick a shimmer. Guys, I'm putting my glasses on just to see if I can even get them to catch the light. There they are a little bit. These are not swatching good. Like, no matter what your definition of good is, these ain't it. I'm sorry. These are not swatching happily at all. Hopefully some glitter glue can manipulate the situation. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna have to go pretty vanilla, guys, and go with this one right here, which is the uppermost light shade in the palette. And I'm going to take my NYX Glitter Glue and I'm gonna put that all over the center of the lid. And we are gonna hope and pray that this NYX Glitter Glue brings out some beautiful situation here. I'm really gonna get a lot here on my finger. Wham, wham, we're good and coated. And now we're gonna apply. Okay, yes. Thank you, Glitter Glue. Now, I will be forthright in telling you that if you are just the wet your brush and go in kind of girl for shimmers, that probably won't work for these shimmers because they are just so lackluster. Like, the only reason that this is working as well as it is because a glitter glue basically takes and packs layers of that shimmer on top of itself and forces it to become more opaque very quickly, which is why this looks as nice as it does. But if you're only wetting it and going in, I don't know if you're going to get the same effect. And that makes me sad. I'm going to go back in here with that Morphe Y19 and I'm just going to lightly blend out the edges. I'm also going to grab a little flat shader brush here and take that same shade and try to pop it up in the brow bone. I just want to see how it works up there, if it'll work as a brow bone highlight. I mean, up here there's no glitter glue to help it out, so it's not like the best shade in the world. It would probably work in a pinch, but I don't love it. Guys, you know the real situation here is that I actually have been a fan of Morphe shadows. I don't think I've ever had this much of an issue with them ever. And I'm a little bit disappointed and a bit frustrated. So I'm just going to do the other eye and like pretend that that didn't happen. Okay. Oh, come on. No whammies, no whammies. Guys, I think I just figured it out. These shades are somehow making my eyeshadow like more tacky. Like somehow applying these shadows to the Tarte Shape Tape is somehow making it like more tacky or more wet feeling, and I just do not understand. So now I'm going to take that same Morphe M507 brush and I'm going to run a little bit of color on the lower lash line, and to do that I'm just going to grab this middle shade right here, which I believe was the second shade that I worked into the crease. I'm just going to take that and very calmly here scatter that onto the lower lash line. What did I say I wanted when I started this look? I said I wanted something nice and calm and light and bronzy, and I now have two bronzy black eyes. Wow. And then on the outskirts of that, I am begrudgingly going to take some of the deeper matte brown that I worked onto the upper lash line. I'm just going to use that shade to tie in with the upper outer V. Okay, so we're going to call that a wrap for the eyes because your girl doesn't have any more patience left to give. And I'm going to move on to something that makes me smile a lot, which is highlighting my face. Now, first, before I do that, though, I am going to, of course, set everything down. And I'm going to do that here with a little Morphe Continuous Setting Spray. This is fantastic. Now I just want to give one look real quick to see if I can still see the liquid highlight popping through, which I can see it a little bit because I brought it down into this region. It doesn't look bad, but I literally can barely see a glow. Like if I didn't know I went in with it, I don't know that I'd be able to see it, if that makes sense. So I don't know. I'm not really loving that. If you don't set your face, you might have better luck with it, but because I have to set mine, obviously it's a little bit of a different story. Now to highlight the face, I'm going to be diving into the Cheek Leader Bronze Squad palette. This is one of the new ones from Benefit, and I'm going to be taking the shade Cookie, which is this shade right here, and girl, it feels so good. I mean, let's just swatch it just to, oh guys, look at that. I'm so excited. Okay, yep, that's what we're using. My life is now complete. And you know what, actually, before I highlight, I have a question for you guys. I did pick up both of these, which is the Pink Squad and the Bronze Squad. Do you want me to do like a side-by-side comparison? Do you want me to swatch both, talk about both? That way you can see both, how they look on my skin tone, what I think, all of those things. Let me know down below if you'd like a comparison video between the two of these, and I will make that happen. Now we're going to take the Morphe R36, and we're going to dive into the shade Cookie. Cookie. Oh, wow. Okay. Oh my god. Wow. That's intense as all get out. So you need a light hand with this bad boy. Oh my god. All right, we got to give her another spray. This time I'm going to grab my Urban Decay All Nighter. And then, of course, a little Catrice Dewy Glow Setting Spray. Ba 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 rain, ba 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 rain. Oh, she's my man. She's my man. Paige, I don't think those are the words. And then I'm going to go in with some IT Cosmetics Superhero Mascara. Okay guys, it's time to move on to glosses. This is the Hot Tropic 5-piece gloss collection kit. Now you guys have heard me on social and on here. I talk all the time about how much I love Morphe glosses, so I have very high hopes for these. I love the shade range. It looks like we have two that are more of a fun poppy pink kind of moment. Coral, maybe a hot pink, and then a deep bronze, medium, and a light shimmer. Okay, all right. Let's see how they swatch. So these are the glosses. We have the deepest one up here, the medium, and then the clearer type one is way down here. I'm not exactly sure how well it's going to show up on my skin tone, but then right in the dead center we have the more hot pink, and then of course the coral pink shades. I actually think these all look really beautiful. The tones are quite nice. These top two are very similar. I would say the main difference is that the deeper one does appear to be more cool undertone, and then the second one appears to be a little bit more warm tone. I'm actually going to go ahead here and take my KKW Beauty lip liner in Nude 1. This is one of my absolute favorite lip liners, and I'm going to line my lips real quick. I just went ahead and took that a little bit onto the lips, and then I think I'm actually going to grab the more cool toned one because I think that that'll match this eye look pretty well, and I'm going to run that all over the lip. Ooh, pretty. Nice and sparkly. These have a smell. They smell slightly coconutty. It's really pretty color, but I feel like you could accomplish this with any of the three in here. Like, there's not enough diversity. Like, I love that they did these two solid colors, the two pink ones. I would have loved it if maybe one of these two up here was a solid nude brown. That would have been perfect, I think, for this collection, because I think that would have made it like much more cohesive. Like, to have two really beautiful fun pops and then to have like a neutral brown on top of that that's opaque, just like these, I think would be stunning. And then, you know, have one shimmery sparkle and then one nude. Like, that would have been good, I think. And on the lips, it feels pretty good. I think it feels a little bit thicker than their normal formula. I'm not sure if that's just like because there's more glitter in it maybe or something. Maybe that's the added scent. But overall, I don't hate the way that they feel. I think that it would be a little bit too heavy if I wanted to go in with a lipstick and this. That might be a little too much. But by itself, I think it adds a really pretty shine. And you guys, this is the completed look. I think that it turned out pretty good. I definitely have some thoughts overall on this collection. Oh man, I gotta get comfy again for this because girl, I got some thoughts and they are weighing heavy on my life. So I guess I'll go ahead and get started running back through these in the order that I use them. So starting off with the highlight drops, I think that I like the little collection for the price. For 25 bucks, I do think you get a lot of product depending on how much use you can get out of all these shades. Myself personally, I would really only be able to use the lighter two, so something to consider depending on what your skin tone is. Obviously, you want to make sure you're getting the most amount of bang for your buck. As far as the application, I didn't have much of an issue. I don't think that they leave much of a lasting shine on the cheek, so that's kind of my con. But at the same time, I think if you want more of an overall glow, if that's the look you're going for, maybe you want like a no makeup look, these could look beautiful if you're able to like blend them out over your cheekbones, maybe your collarbones, give you a nice universal glow look that's not super intense. So I guess with these, it just depends on how you're wanting to use them. I will try mixing them in with foundation and see how that works. I do fear though that, like I said before, they might be a little too oily for that to be the best decision, but we'll give it a try and see. Now from there we dive into this bronzer. I think for me, what throws me off the most about this is how it looks in pan versus how it applied. Like in pan, it has a really nice, warm, light undertone to it. But then when I went through and started applying it, it was almost like as that warmth sheared out, it left me with like jaundice yellow. And that could just be my skin tone. That could be the foundation. I will go ahead and of course try this again and let you guys know. Maybe it works better on a different foundation. Maybe it was the undertone of what I chose today. Who knows? For $19, you do get a ton of product. And if you have an Ulta near you and you want to go in, swatch around, I believe they'll have these on display at Ulta. You can kind of see if there's one that works for you. Maybe it doesn't do that. Guys, as I sit here and I end this review, I can still feel my lids slightly sticking together. I don't know what is going on with this. I don't know what the situation is. And I'm a little bit perturbed at this entire situation. Like I'm just going through at this moment, I'm picking random shades and I'm swatching them. They don't feel abnormal. They feel normal. They look nice in swatch. I don't have any issues with them. But for some reason, these applied like the worst shades I've ever experienced, and I have no idea why. Like I said to you guys earlier, I will go through, like, look at that. They swatch just fine. I don't know what it is. Maybe they just can't apply with a tacky lid. You guys can let me know down below if you picked this palette up and had the same issue, but I have never in my life experienced a Morphe shadow like this that blended this poorly. I have used so many Morphe shadows, and this is reminding me of like back in the day, everyone said like, oh, Morphe shadows are crap. They don't blend. They're this, blah, blah, blah. And when I first started using them, probably, I would say 6 or 8 months ago, I was like, this formula is not bad. And everybody said, oh, well, they reformulated. They don't have that old formula anymore. And this feels like something that they would have had 2 years ago and been proud of. Like, that's the vibe I'm getting from it. I'm not loving it. That being said, though, I will go ahead and try it with a set eyeshadow base. Maybe that'll make a difference. Now, that brings us to these glosses. And here's my deal with the glosses. I like them. I love their formula. I am going to wear these a little bit more, get a feel for them, see what I think, because I do love their original gloss formula. I'm not sure if these are the same or not. You guys can let me know, by the way, if you've heard any tea or you know of anybody that's talked about the formula, please be sure to leave it down below because I am genuinely curious. I feel like I'm getting a lot of quality here that doesn't seem on trend with what I've had from Morphe, so leave me all of that down below if there's something you know and I don't. But as far as the glosses go, like I said, I'm going to want to wear them, see how I like the formula. As far as the overall cohesive set, other than what I already told you about exchanging one out for maybe an opaque brown nude, I think that that's a really nice set. I like the 2 pops of color. Guys, I think that rounds out my entire review of their Bronze Goals collection. I will, of course, have everything listed down below that I used in today's video so you guys know if you missed something, what I used, because girl, she's down there. And that is it, you guys. Let me know your thoughts down below. What did you think on the collection? Did you pick it up? Were you excited just like me? Also, don't forget, you can scuttle on up to that description box. You can follow me on Instagram and on Twitter. They're both linked in the description box, and I'm trying to get verified. So please be sure to do that if you have not already. I post a ton over there, whether it's me, my cats, my dogs. We hang out on Instagram a ton and on Twitter, but like mainly on Instagram, girl. I love those Insta stories. And you can also subscribe here on the wonderful YouTube if you have not yet done so, and turn on your post notifications because y'all, I upload 5 videos a week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. My videos go up bright and early between 6 and 7 a.m. my time here in Northern Michigan, and it is a fun, fresh lit time where we talk about everything. New, old, love it, hate it, all kind of makeup favorites. It don't matter. We talk about it. So subscribe if you are into that. And you guys, that is it. Thank you all so much for watching. Please do not forget to have a great day, night, weekend, whatever it is when you're watching this, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Girl, my hair is so flat today. What is happening with you? Girl, you better wake your ass up. It's just a tiddly-winking bit. That's what it is. It's just a tiddly-winking bit and a tiddly-hooty boot. Does anybody know what that means? Because I don't. And where is my powder? Hello? I need my powder. I need the powder, please. Okay, now we need a little mascara. I'm scared of some mascara. Oh, God, Paige, I wish you were funny. Okay. Killing me softly with its glow. I got a hair on my nose. Killing me softly with its tickle. Bow, 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 bow.